Now, it's good to see the tennis team back in action, sitting at 6-2 in the young season, getting a win over BYU and then a loss to the Indiana Hoosiers. Back in the Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Back here at Corelli's Monday nights from 7 till 8 o'clock. We're out here for Buffs Prime Time. The CU women also getting the split on the road against the Arizona schools. A win in Tempe over Arizona State, then a loss in Tucson on Sunday to the 18th rated Arizona Wildcats. And we caught up with head coach J.R. Payne talking about the split in the desert. Welcome in the head coach J.R. Payne of the 21st rated Buffs. That's what they were in the poll that came out earlier today, coming off the split down at Arizona. That was an oddity because we actually saw J.R. and the crew with the men's team crossing over in the hotel.
It was kind of fun. Yeah, I wish we did that more often. It's always cool to be able to see the guys on the road.
You know what it was great for? It was great for fans.
Yes.
I can't tell how many fans I talked to. Went down there, took in the men's game on Thursday, and then went on Friday. And went down to Tucson, did the same thing on Saturday and Sunday, so it was kind of cool.
It was fun, yeah.
Can take us to the game on Friday then.
Well, it was strange. We talked before about 11 a.m. It was a kids' game. You know, we didn't practice in their arena at all. We just kind of went to the game and played the game. Even the security people outside the gym, like, rerouted us 10 minutes around the building. We're like, just let us off the bus. Let us in the building. We want to shoot. Yeah, it was fine. I didn't think we played particularly well in either game this weekend. But we, you know, when you can win on the road and still feel like you didn't play great, then that's a good thing. Yeah. So
Sunday's game, the offense kind of disappeared on you against Arizona, didn't it?
Yeah, it disappeared big time. Yeah. We watched the film together today. Usually we do highlights and lowlights of every single game, and we kind of clip it up and mark it up and kind of share it with them. And we thought, well, it might just be easier to just watch it, you know, together. So we watched the first half. It took a while, but it was good. I mean, we had a lot of good learning lessons. I always say you can learn a lot from a win. You can learn a lot from a loss. So as long as you're learning and you don't shy away from the discomfort of, man, that was bad, you know, then you can actually really get better. So we had great dialogue today. We talked about how we could have communicated more effectively when things weren't going our way. But honestly, just a lot of clips where we're like, what are you doing here? You know, what is she doing? What is that? Yeah. So definitely not our best basketball, but lots to learn.
You can always tell a lot about a team when a team takes ownership of that. So when you're having an honest conversation with them, going through your film, the way they respond, and my sense is your team responds very positively to that and takes responsibility.
Yeah, and some people are more talkative than others, you know, and some people really just want to like ingest it and learn and process before they're ready to speak about it. But we have a pretty veteran group, you know, and we talk about a lot of things. Like whenever we have an issue, we immediately talk about it. So it's something that our team expects, you know, us to be able to do, and I think it makes us a better team.
When you do a film session like that with the team, you can kind of give us a little inside baseball here for the fans. Is it J.R. Payne up in front? Is T with you, the entire staff? How does it work with your staff?
Yeah, we're all in the room, the entire staff, the entire team, whether you know, we had two red shirts that didn't even travel. They were in there too. The person who did the scouting report, in this case it was Toriano, he leads the film session. You know, but on this one, it ended up being more dialogue. It wasn't as much about Arizona. It was more about, this is the first time that things are kind of going sideways, and we didn't just lean into each other and fix it. We kind of, you know, sort of let it go sideways. So it became more of just a group discussion about what could we have done more effectively as coaches to help you through that, and how could they have been better. And so it was great. I feel much better after that.
I would think as well, when you've got a team where your team is now, you're well over 20 wins. You got, 21 wins. You're in the top 25. You're going to finish in the top handful of teams, the Pac-12. That's a little probably different film session now than it would have been back in November, right?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Before it would have been more technical, like screening angles and, you know, things like that are real teachable things. We already know that stuff. We just didn't necessarily apply it very well, you know, this Sunday, which is why we scored 41 points or whatever it was. So it was really more about, all right, so Thursday, a whole lot more adversity coming up. What are we going to do to be better by Thursday?
Yeah. When you went back and looked at it from an offensive standpoint, listen, offense comes and goes at times, right? Sometimes the ball goes in, sometimes it doesn't. Was that primarily it, or were there some technical things that you saw?
Yeah, I mean, I think that our team felt, you know, when we were communicating today, they felt sped up, you know, and so they felt like things were just moving faster than they wanted them to. And so when we watched the film and we asked them, well, does this look fast? They were like, no, not really. You know, so I think it was just more of an internal, I don't know, maybe a little bit pressure, maybe huge environment, you know, 9,000 people, great crowd, you know, things like that can play into that. But But really then the lesson is like, okay, so when we start to feel that way, what should our response be? And that's where I think we'll be better next time we take the floor.
And that kind of communication, I think, with a team like yours that's experienced and mature, you can really approach it that way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Very honest, open. People speak directly to each other. There's no, we just want to win. And we know that if there's anything in the way of us winning, we're willing to take it head on.
Head coach J.R. Payne, the Colorado Buffaloes now ranked number 21 in the country, getting ready for the final week of the regular season. They've got Thursday and Saturday games against the Bay Area schools at the Event Center. We're talking more women's hoops after the timeout. Quay Miller's going to join us after a break.